Annesburg may look like nothing more than a mining town, but start exploring the places most players ride straight past and you'll uncover rare collectibles, unique weapons, unusual encounters, hidden clues, and even a gold stash connected to a tragic family story. I went through the less obvious corners around Annesburg to find 23 things you may have completely missed in Red Dead Redemption 2. And some of these discoveries are connected, so let's follow them in the order they naturally appear. First, head toward the Annesburg mine. Follow the minecart tracks outside the mine and look for this barrel sitting above the tracks. On top, you can find the Annesburg cigarette card. It's sitting in a pretty exposed location, but when you're focused on getting through the area, it's surprisingly easy to ride right past it. And now, instead of heading straight back into town, follow me farther east. Continue northeast of Annesburg and keep following the route toward the coastline. Eventually, you'll come across this huge stone covered in strange markings. This is the Old World script's point of interest. The message describes people arriving by boat, discovering a beautiful land and welcoming people, and apparently deciding to leave them in peace. Inspect the writing, and Arthur will sketch it into his journal. There's no major mission attached to it, and no full explanation is given. It's simply another strange piece of environmental storytelling hidden in the world. But there's more to find farther along this route. Continue east toward the coast. Follow the path, and you'll eventually reach a wrecked ship. Near the wreckage, you can find a washed-up lockbox. Open it, and inside is the Shark Tooth Trinket. Once obtained, it permanently increases the amount of horse bonding XP Arthur receives by 10%. So this isn't just another collectible sitting around for decoration. It actually provides a permanent gameplay benefit. And while you're already here, don't leave yet. Look around the shipwreck and pay attention to the objects nearby. You can find the phrase, "better than my dog." That phrase is a hidden cheat code. Enter it through the game's cheat menu and it increases the distance from which Arthur can call his horse. So even when your horse is extremely far away, Arthur can call it back from much farther than normal. Just keep one thing in mind. Activating cheats disables normal saving and achievements while they're active. So save your game first, then experiment with them. Now head back towards Annesburg and make your way north of the Jameson Mining and Coal Company area. Look for this tree stump. Hidden inside, you can find the Rusted Double Bit Hatchet. It may be covered in rust, but it can still be used as a melee weapon or thrown at enemies. And because it's a unique weapon, make sure you pick it back up if you decide to throw it. You don't want to leave a unique item behind. Now start paying attention to the workers and other NPCs around Annesburg. Some of them can be wearing the Crown Bucket hat. Knock the hat off, pick it up, and wear it once. The game can then save it under Arthur's Stolen Hats. It may not be the most stylish piece of clothing in the game, but it definitely fits Annesburg's mining town atmosphere.
Please, don't. All right, let's go. The hell? This is very kind of you.
There's another hat worth looking for around Annesburg. Some of the guards can be wearing the Western Homburg. Again, knock it off the NPC, pick it up, and wear it so it can be added to your stolen hat collection. It gives Arthur a very specific, "I own the mine now" kind of look. Just be careful, because taking a hat from a guard can cause nearby NPCs to become hostile.
Now I'm just gonna check your pockets.
While exploring Annesburg, you may eventually encounter Dr. Macintosh. Talk to him and he'll start explaining some very unusual ideas about the future of American science. Depending on how you look at it, he sounds either incredibly ahead of his time or completely insane. Eventually, he can give Arthur a book called Hopes for the Future. And there's another detail you might not expect. If you choose to attack him and then loot him, you can find a gold wedding ring. So this encounter gives you something interesting whether you choose to listen to him or take a much less friendly approach.
Hey there.
Read this book. It is the future of American science.
Thank you.
Scoff not, laugh not, deride not. I speak the truth. We are killing this land, killing it with greed, killing it with science. I am a scientist. The land will boil, the sea will dry up, the world will heat. Crops shall wither, the hills shall burn, the river shall turn to fire. And this will not be some eternal damnation from above. This is the very manifestation of our greed. This is a land founded on greed. Not on science, not on truth, but on greed. We must think, not merely desire.
Next, head toward the upper side of Annesburg's main road. You can encounter a blind man here. Give him $1 and he'll tell Arthur about what may lie ahead and offer a warning about his future. It's a brief encounter, but it's another example of how Red Dead Redemption 2 hides small pieces of story and foreshadowing in seemingly ordinary places.
Be warned, sir. Do not slumber too deeply, for the man with no nose is coming for you.
All right. Well, I'll have to take your word for it. Hey there.
I'm sure you've got better things to do than follow a lame blind man around.
Now head down toward the Annesburg docks. Walk onto this L-shaped pier. Sitting here, you'll find the package ship cigarette card. Another collectible is added to the list.
Hey, partner.
And we're not finished with Annesburg's cigarette cards yet. Next, head over to the coal mining tower. Climb the ladders all the way to the top. In this corner, you'll find the Edwin Singerly cigarette card. There's also a Valerian route nearby, which can give Arthur some extra Deadeye experience when consumed. So there's a small bonus waiting for you if you're already making the climb. Now follow this path toward the upper floor of the Jameson Mining and Coal Company. Using this route can get you into the office without going directly through the main area. Inside, look at the desk. You'll find the Preston T. Stevenson cigarette card. But before you leave, there's another item worth checking. Open the drawer in the same office. Inside, you can find a gold ring. It's not enough to make Arthur rich, but it's still free loot. And since you're already inside the office, there's no reason to leave it behind. Now head toward the Annesburg mine, just south of the area marked on the map. Use this entrance and climb down the ladder. Inside, you can find the Longleaf Pine cigarette card. This is one of those collectibles that can easily be missed because most players are thinking about the mine itself rather than checking every corner. And while you're still inside the mine, there's another card waiting for you. Using this entrance can help you avoid some of the guards around the main entrance. Make your way toward the center of the mine shaft. There, you'll find the Isabelle Standish cigarette card. So 2 collectible cards are hiding inside this same mining area. Now head to the area just below the U in Annesburg on the map. Follow the trail east toward town. When you reach this downhill right turn, go up the hill on your right. Near the cliff, you'll find a dead tree. Attached to it is Dreamcatcher number 17. Inspect it, and Arthur will record the discovery. It's another small collectible that's easy to overlook if you're simply following the roads. Finally, make your way behind the Annesburg gunsmith. On the back terrace, you can find the Buck's Revolver cigarette card sitting on a table. However, this particular collectible may not behave identically across every game version or progression state. I wasn't able to access it in the version I was using, so if you can collect it at this location, let me know in the comments which version of the game you're playing. And now, we're getting into something much bigger than collectibles. The next 6 discoveries are connected. The wanted poster, the grave, the newspaper scrap, the mine message, the cottage, the map, and the final treasure all form one larger mystery. So don't skip ahead, because the clues make more sense when you follow them in order. Outside the Annesburg post office and train station, you'll find this wanted poster. The name on it is Gideon Bennett. At first, it looks like an ordinary bounty poster, but there's no associated mission waiting for Arthur here. That's because Gideon's part in this story has already come to an end, and the next clue tells us where he ended up.
Mister?
Howdy.
Gideon Bennett's grave can be found in Roanoke Ridge, west of the letter G in Roanoke Ridge on the world map, and north of Sawbone Clearing. It's a simple dirt grave with a small wooden crucifix. The name Bennett is carved into the wood with 1 T. The grave is connected to the story of 3 brothers, Gideon, Ira, and Earl Bennett. The clues scattered around the region suggest that the brothers were once very close. But that changed when gold became involved. Certain NPCs and guards around Annesburg can have another piece of the story on them. If you loot the right NPC, you may find a newspaper scrap connected to the Bennett Brothers.
Where
It tells us about Gideon, Ira, and Earl, who were once extremely close before a disagreement over missing gold drove them apart. Each brother suspected another had stolen it. Eventually, the argument turned violent. But that leaves one big question. Where did the gold actually go? The game gives us another clue. Head back into the northern section of the Annesburg mine, using the same general area we explored earlier. Follow the route to this wall. Hidden here is a strange message. Inspect it, and Arthur will record the clue in his journal. The message points toward a house north of Annesburg with a red roof and green door. That house is Reed Cottage. So now we have another location to investigate. Head to Reed Cottage and go inside. Yes, we're technically outside Annesburg now, but this location is still part of the same Bennett Brothers mystery. Inside the house, you can find a portrait of the Bennett Brothers. You can also search the building for loot. But the most important clue is hidden somewhere you might not normally check. Look inside the chimney. Hidden there is a sketched map. The map points toward an area near Elysian Pool. And that finally gives us a lead on the missing gold. Now follow the map toward Elysian Pool. As you approach the area, you may encounter one or two of the Skinny brothers. Continue toward these rocks and approach the exact spot shown here.
City folk. They're gonna have trinkets. No.
I want food, not trinkets. Can't eat trinkets.
Well, food don't gonna make you pretty.
You ain't never gonna be pretty.
That ain't how you was acting last night.
You shut up about that.
Something tells me you didn't strike this camp.
Something's up.
You'll get an inspect prompt. Move into position, and there it is, a hidden gold ingot. This is the treasure at the center of the Bennett Brothers story. The wanted poster, the grave, the newspaper scrap, the mine message, the portrait, the map, and finally the gold can all be followed as pieces of one larger mystery spread across Roanoke Ridge. The clues suggest that three brothers who were once extremely close became enemies after gold came between them. And after following every clue, you can finally see where that treasure ended up. So those are 23 things you may have missed around Annesburg in Red Dead Redemption 2. Some are simple collectibles. Some give Arthur unique weapons, clothing, or useful items. And others reveal small pieces of the world's hidden stories. But the Bennett Brothers mystery is easily one of the most interesting discoveries here because the game never simply hands you the whole story. You have to find the clues yourself and connect the pieces. So, how many of these Annesburg secrets did you already know about? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more hidden RDR2 secrets, rare items, mysteries, and discoveries.